Look at this.
Did you take the cover off the?
It always works better when you take the cover. Oh, look at this. Now it's like butter. You get ready to cut it? Take the cover off the pizza cutter.
And that was not fresh red pepper. That was roasted.
Roasted red pepper. Excuse me. I'm being corrected here. But you know what? This isn't about talking. This is about eating. So, manja.
Yeah, I'm looking at your dirty shoes that you're probably tracking everything.
What a killjoy.
And then, last but not least, turn the oven off.
Only if you want to. I wanted to keep it warm in case I wanted seconds. You can put this on YouTube.
So you guys grew up in West New York and Jersey City.
That's right.
Hudson County, close to each other?
7 miles?
Yeah, about 7 miles apart.
Far enough.
Were you guys familiar with each other's town, or did you guys sort of keep in your own?
Yeah, no, you stay in your own area.
Right. Well, my understanding was your world was Macy's on 34th down to Point Pleasant.
Pretty much, you know, Jersey City, that's what it is.
And what about you, Ralph?
West New York was sort of a world into itself. All of our activities were within our town. We had a pretty active town, lots of sports programs, lots of kids. It was a 1 square mile town, so it was easy to get around.
So obviously you guys met at St. Peter's College.
That's right.
Correct.
Right. So, and Mom, I believe you were the first female class.
That's correct also.
So I imagine there was a lot of competition for your attention back then?
That's for sure.
Yeah, it's true.
He was a stalker.
All right.
And she was easy prey because she was was and still is a creature of habit. There were certain days of the week I knew she would be in a library, and I knew exactly where she would be in a library because she was always in the same place.
So how do you know where the library was?
I followed her. First time I saw her was in a cafeteria.
You remember that? You remember the first time you saw her?
Yep. She had a red skirt on, a white sweater, and white knee socks.
I don't remember, so I can't elaborate. I was sitting at the table with my friends, and he came over in a group. Gary was with.
Oh, Gary Mitterman?
Yeah.
He was with my group? I never
Yeah.
hung out with him.
I know, but somehow you all were there.
Well, Gary Mitterman was the other guy she dated pretty regularly.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He took her hiking and all that kind of outdoor stuff.
Oh, he misplayed his hand.
When I was 17, I was open to suggestions.
Yeah.
What did Dad do to kind of sway you when you were over?
I'm waiting for this.
Yeah, I'm trying to think
I'm waiting
Long time
naked as
ago.
myself.
Yeah, he was just nice. He was a keeper.
So,
I called your mother up and asked, see if she was available on a Saturday or whatever. She did have to be home early, usually by 11 o'clock, but usually after I left her off, I'd go out somewhere and stop at a diner and get something to eat because
it was 9 p.m.
No, and I still about 11 o'clock was her time to be back.
I was tired by then. I was always a morning person. So.
If I recall, you once told me you were up until midnight once and never again.
Well, it seemed like a good idea at the time, but it really wasn't.
We went to a New Year's Eve party in North Bergen, New Jersey. I had friends from college. Her name is Jimmy Cirulo. She was there till midnight, and then I took her home. But on the way home, we stopped for a little bit, and that's when she expressed her feelings.
I'd been drinking.
Yeah, she encouraged me.
Right.
We got engaged when
I was 19.
your mother was still in school.
Child.
I was.
Yeah. And we went to New York. We went to Canal Street together, and we went to look at rings. and that's where your mother picked out her ring.
Was there a down on one knee moment?
No. Down on one knee, no.
That's only on TV.
Yeah.
Well, I don't
And
know if that's
movies.
true.
And there was no asking permission of, you know, the mother and father.
So it was just
I didn't
you
do
just
any of that stuff.
Decided, like you just were like,
You sort of just drift into it
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah.
Really?
You know, well,
Yeah.
we you know,
Right.
we were going steady, and it just sort of evolved. Let me
Okay.
put it that way. There was no aha moment.
I think we were comfortable with each other and we were comfortable with each other's families.
Yeah.
So
well, what was your first impression of his family?
I was very afraid of his father
Right.
because he used to yell and argue, and his face would get red, and I thought for sure he was going to have a stroke. But then I found out it was all noise.
Right. Yeah, he's emotional.
Yeah.
Driven.
No, I
He
mean,
just liked to argue.
Yeah.
Whatever, political story was in the news at the time or anything else.
Seems familiar.
And he would always take the opposite side, no matter what side you were on, he would be on the opposite
and
side.
then when you came over to his side, he'd go to your side. So the argument would continue. But anyway, no, we were very comfortable with each other's parents, like Mom said, because you know I used to call my mother-in-law Mom and my father-in-law Dad because
Well, that's
they-
the way it was done back
well,
then.
it was, but
We were so young.
you know, it felt awkward at first, but it was, you know, I was comfortable. I felt like they were like another set of parents to me. Like, you know, my mother and father were, you know, Mom is the oldest in her family. I was the
Right.
youngest in my family.
Like quite a bit.
Yeah. So my parents were like 13, 14 years older than her parents.
15 years.
So when I started coming around to see Mom, Grandma was only in her 40s. You know, she was still a relatively, it didn't seem to me as a 20-something-year-old that she was a young woman, but she was still relatively young, and you know, now it seemed like a very young woman. Her father, I'd say a little bit intimidated because he was sort of a quiet guy, but he was a pretty good-sized man. He was 6 foot. And I didn't know whether to take his quietness as disapproval or he was just quiet. And he would always, if you said something that he disapproved of, he would always say, college kids.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they don't, he'd shake his head like they don't know anything. And now that I got older, he was right.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he wasn't, like Grandma was much more engaging.
Right. Well, you bought her off of a pizza, right?
Well, yeah, like on Fridays I would get down there, or usually it would be a Friday night. I would get down. This is after we were dating and we were
In a
engaged.
borrowed car, right?
I always had a different car because I didn't have my own car. And then eventually, when I bought my own car, it was a 1967 Volkswagen Bug.
And Mom couldn't tell the difference between any of them.
Now, if I had known, all I needed to do was get like a Ferrari sticker and put it on the Volkswagen, and she would have thought it was a Ferrari. I did hit a jackpot in this respect. Your mother is easy to live with. She doesn't have a lot of demands.
That's right.
She has high standards, though. No.
Which I keep lowering.
You guys got married. Was it a big
Yeah.
ceremony?
Yeah.
People.
Yeah, it was a big ceremony. St. Aidan's Church in Jersey City, which is still there. It's now taken over by St. Peter's. And we had a ceremony afterwards at a place called,
Not a ceremony.
not a ceremony, like the reception at the Robin Hood, you know, with a band and a whole thing. It was, you know, full-fledged wedding. And then we went to, spent our honeymoon on Tunnelly Avenue, honeymoon evening. The next morning, Mom wanted to pick some stuff up, so I waited in the Volkswagen out in the car.
No, we had dinner at my parents' and then we were leaving.
Oh, okay. But then I must have pulled the car around because I remember sitting in the car waiting for her to come out from her house, and they were up on the porch, Grandma, Grandpa, Aunt Kathy, Uncle Michael, who were, you know, really young at the time, and they're all up there hugging and crying.
It was a sad day.
And I'm thinking I broke up a happy family And I drove her down. It was about a 3-hour drive, and we pulled into Aberdeen Proving Ground, and I took it to there were barracks for the officers, and
Yeah, it was a guest house.
it was a guest house.
It was terrible.
Yeah. And I think like when we went into the service, that was like one of the best things that happened to us, because we both kind of grew up very close to our
Yeah.
families, and none of us were away. I mean, we would come home pretty much every weekend anyway.
Europe is what really set us
Right.
Yeah.
off on wanting to see the world. It really opened up our horizon.
I at least have a very romantic image in my mind of what that was like for you guys. So there's that great photo of you two, 21, I guess, and Dad, 25.
24.
24, 25, and he's got the belt on the outside of his
That's when we drove down to Italy.
his sweater, and you're looking at him with a look I've never seen, which is this admiration of this man who
She was probably looking at somebody behind
showing
her.
you the world.
I worked in a headquarters, so I was able to schedule during the Christmas holiday time off. So when your mother came, we scheduled a trip and we went to Paris, and we did that was our first place we had gone to.
Yeah, it's a beautiful city, and we really had a good time because it was all new for us.
We did Italy in our little Volkswagen, because when I got there I bought a used Volkswagen, and that car broke down while we were on a trip to Italy. So we drove through Switzerland, through the Alps. I think it was over the Brenner Pass we went. And we went down as far south in Italy as Naples and Pompeii. And then we cut across. And that's where we, on the way back up north, we stopped and visited the town where Grandpa Amoroso was born. And we met some of Mom's relatives in that town.
I assume they knew you were coming?
No.
They didn't know we were coming, but they knew of us.
I think my grandfather, whose brother lived there, had some contact.
What was kind of interesting about that visit and about her grandfather was he had sent our wedding picture over there. So when we had their address, so when we knocked on the door, the woman who opened the door immediately recognized us, and they were very warm and welcoming
The
to us.
picture was hanging up.
Yeah, I think also, and it was something we never paid that much attention to at the time, but Grandpa lived in that village till he was 6 years old, and he didn't see his father until he was 6 years old when he came to America.
Oh, wow.
Because your great-grandfather left Italy to come to America while his wife was pregnant with Grandpa.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Right.
It's really moving.
Yeah, and we didn't know that at the time. But the other thing that was kind of neat was we took movie film of that visit and we sent it back home so that her grandfather could see his brother. And he did get to see that before he died, which made us feel good.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
You come back to the States. You guys come back together, or did
No, I came back
she
first.
came back first.
came back first?
My active duty was complete.
Okay.
Right, because they had the reduction in force, the Vietnam War was winding down.
What was that like being back? Were you kind of like
Looking for jobs.
right figuring out the next step of your lives?
We moved in with his parents because
Okay.
they had
What was that like, Mom?
they had more room because my parents still had Michael and Kathy home.
Sure,
So
sure.
the bedrooms were filled. It's not ideal. Everyone wants their own space. I did find a job and I was working, so I was out of the house most of the day. And I would come home. Daddy was unemployed.
And I would watch soap operas in the afternoon with Grandma, his mom, her mom.
Yeah.
But you weren't living there?
No.
You would just go.
No, because she was working in a Catholic school.
In Jersey City.
I think it was St. John's on
So
Kennedy
hold on.
Boulevard.
So you were living at
In West New York.
this is in West New York, and then you go into Jersey City to watch soap operas with Grandma.
Well, and some days, if I had to go to unemployment, I'd drop her off to work. I would go to unemployment, get my unemployment check. I'd meet my buddy. We'd go maybe for lunch. Now,
So-
to put this into perspective, okay, I came back in January.
Okay.
1972.
And there was a really good Days of Our Lives storyline.
No. I was fully employed with a major corporation by the beginning of April, so it was about a 2-month gap.
All right.
Where I lived this life of a carefree, kept man.
What felt longer, Mom? The year in Europe or those 2 months?
No comment.
She married a winner.
I said, and then he was very comfortable because he was in his own home.
That sounds comfortable.
And I was like, we've got to get out of here. It's time. And I had to light a fire under him. And then he found a job and we got an apartment. And then I was pregnant with Mark.
Yep.
So we, wanted a house.
And what was that like? Sort of the feeling of going from a couple into a family.
You just take day by day. You don't
Yeah.
think about it too much. Just that's where you are in life. You just deal with it.
Yeah, it was. I remember thinking after we bought the house, I was cutting the lawn, and I was thinking, this is like 1974. I'm thinking, I have a wife, I have a baby, I have a house, I have a car, I have a job. And 10 years ago, I was in high school, and it seemed like
A lot happened.
a lot happened in those 10 years, and having Mark sort of made me feel, like there was more responsibility. That I was responsible for this little baby, and your mother too was responsible for the little baby. And your mother was a good mother; she took good care of me. So she stayed home and I worked.
1950s family.
That's right.
In the 70s.
So now you're in Woodlake Heights, you're in Middletown, Carols are up the street, you have a network of spies that you ruled your children with an iron fist. Although we've come to later learn it was all smoke and mirrors.
Hey, you were gullible, what can I tell you?
That's right. You had a couple wins and you kept a tight lip about how it was.
I said, I still do, just live day by day. Take each day as it comes. I don't think too hard about the past or the future. I live in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I'd get up in the morning, get your kids ready for school, do carpools.
It's the moment of routine that
Yeah.
you've managed to stalk.
But we always worked as a team.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he won an argument or I won an
We
argument.
really didn't argue.
No, but I'm just saying, you just work together.
Mm-hmm.
That's, you didn't always agree on
Yeah,
everything.
the marriage was an evolution. It keeps evolving, and even having children, the children as they age, and to me the biggest change was when you send them off to college. Your lives changed, our lives changed. So the dynamics in the household changed, and when you would come back, not just you, any of you would come back, it would be like a visit as opposed to a permanent resident, if you know what I mean.
Work became part of my
Is
routine.
that something you were kind of looking forward to going back and doing, or?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Mhm.
I did. I especially enjoyed doing kindergarten.
I
Wasn't
mean,
easy.
you had plenty of training.
There you go.
I
But yeah,
mean, I remember a lot of incidents in the house of bringing mud into the house and eating too much ice cream, general kindergarten issues.
I didn't let that deter me.
Yeah.
my failure at training him. But so that became part of my routine, and I enjoyed it, and glad I went back. And then your focus is on different things. You guys are, independent and on your own, and my focus was on work and my house and my husband, and that's really what we did. Right?
Yeah, well, your life the focus becomes a little sharper in your life because now you're not dealing with
Day-to-day
five
care.
personalities. You're dealing with each other again, and I wouldn't say it's like when you were dating, but it's it either brings you closer or makes you separate, I don't know. But in our case, it worked fine. You know, we got along. We always got along, so that was it. And you know, the other thing was, and we appreciate this, was all three of you guys were good guys. We're proud of all of you. You didn't create any external tension in our lives.
Yeah, we weren't fighting about you.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
yesterday.
Well, for the record, we're fighting about you.
But you know, we were blessed with three good kids who were
Healthy.
self-sufficient, good human beings that we were proud of. So, and believe me, we came across a lot of parents where their kids give them a lot of grief and it puts stress on them. We didn't have that, so that helped. Right, Phil?
Yep.
So you guys moved to Florida 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really hated the cold.
Yeah.
So, and Daddy had been retired a year, and I just got retired. So I said, let's just go for a month. We'll rent a place, see how we like it. And we did. I mean, it was much prettier than New Jersey, especially, you know, in the winter. And there's plenty to do down here. So we took the plunge and bought a place. And we haven't really regretted it or looked back. It's been great. We've made a lot of friends down here.
And before we wrap up, I'd be remiss to say you're now grandparents since you moved down here.
Yes,
We are. Yep.
Three granddaughters. You got
Three
your
granddaughters.
Got your girls.
Yep.
Yep. Even the score a little bit.
Right. So you can finally buy dresses and bows.
So there you go. Somehow it's like flipping a coin. It all evens out at the end.
So how would you say that's having grandkids is, because you guys certainly were patient, you waited long enough.
Yeah.
Not my fault.
But like, how do you think that sort of changed the...
Well, yeah, it's a lot of fun. Children bring new life and excitement into any household. So you get to play with them, and
You get to see the world through their eyes, and it's like rediscovering things all over again. And it's the same way with your children, but it's even more so with your grandchildren, I think.
well, because with your own children, you're busy taking care of them,
Yeah,
and it's a big responsibility. Grandchildren, it's somebody else's responsibility.
Right,
Take
they
care of them and raise them and feed them and all of
they have a
that.
meltdown or spring a leak, you can
Yeah,
get
you
them
hand
off.
them back.
Yeah. And
So you only get the good parts.
Right. You have 50 years to look back on, or if you count the courtship. And
Yep.
any advice to the world? Any?
Make sure you like the person you marry.
Learn from your mistakes.
No, really. You have to enjoy their company and like them. And of course, you want to make sure they have a moral compass that matches yours. You don't have to agree on everything. You don't have to like all the same things. But your values have to be.
And you have to respect one another. From my perspective, all the time that we spent together, when you say like from maybe 52 years we've known each other, which is...
It goes fast.
Yeah.
Life speeds by.
Yeah, I was going to say that's exactly what I was going to say. The most aspect of it that creates wonder is how quickly it seems to have gone by.
Well, I would say that's a sign of a good marriage, that 50 years went by quickly.
Yeah, they went by quickly. Too quickly. So we must have had too good a marriage.
All right, well,
Okay.
And that brings us to today.
anything you'd like to say to each other before I turn the cameras off?
Well, yeah, I'd like to ask you what's for lunch.
Help yourself.
Welcome back. We got it now. Look at this. Coming out of the toaster oven. Look at that.
So we
Let's
learned-
sum up. Here we go. You can get it in any store, whole wheat. You can use it for roll-ups. They're called wraps for roll-ups, but I made a pizza out of it. You get it, preferably toast it just slightly to make it a little bit crisp. Any kind of sauce, tomato sauce, pizza sauce, put a little bit, 3 tablespoons on, spread it around. Fresh mozzarella, fresh red pepper.
Burn himself. You should be Saturday Night Live.
It tastes good though.
I love genetics.
It was worth the 3rd degree burn.
Forget the cooking channel. Saturday Night Live.
It was worth the burn. All right, enough.
I don't know what else you're gonna do.
Show's over.
I can cut it wherever I want, but who knows what other
You got
Jim.
the thing that more for you?
Really?
I thought it was your telephone. But you can take pictures on your phone.
You should put this on YouTube called Silly Parents.
Alright.
Where you going?
We're gonna go back to Steinmont and bring that shirt back and see if
You
we
and Dave?
Yeah.
Enough.
Happy anniversary, Grandma and Grandpa! Pizzas are red, violets are blue. We love you! Bye! Happy anniversary! Each one of you's a cat!
Hey Mom and Dad, love you guys both. Happy anniversary, and obviously couldn't be more grateful to have you both as my parents. Love you and see you soon.
Hi, I'm Phyllis and Uncle Ralph. Congratulations on your 50th wedding anniversary. Love you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Phyllis and Ralph, happy 50th wedding anniversary. It's such an amazing milestone. Ralph, we can't imagine life without you. You're such an integral part of our family. Phyllis, you've become the matriarch. We love you and can't wait to celebrate with you. Happy
anniversary!
Mwah.
Happy anniversary. We wish we were with you to celebrate, but we'll have to celebrate soon.
Mwah. We're down the shore thinking of you.
Happy anniversary. Can't believe it's going to be 50 years. What a milestone. It's unbelievable. Your commitment and dedication exemplifies what every marriage should be.
Hi Phil, hi Ralph. Congratulations. Can't wait to see you guys so we can actually celebrate in person. Have a safe trip back. Love you both. Congratulations again.
Love you both.
Bye.
Hi Phil and Ralph, congratulations on your 50th anniversary. Hope George and I make it. You've been amazing cousins and friends. We shared so many happy times together. Looking forward to more. God bless you. We love you.
Happy 50th anniversary. Can't wait to see you both again.
Happy 50th anniversary, Aunt Phyllis and Uncle Ralph. Congratulations on making it to half a century of love and happiness and family. We're happy to be part of your family and to share on this great occasion with you. Many, many more years of happiness to you from both of us.
Happy anniversary, Aunt Phyllis and Uncle Ralph. Wishing you many, many years of love and happiness. We miss you. Enjoy your anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Happy 50th anniversary, Ralph and Phyllis.
Wish we could be there and celebrate with you guys, but we're looking forward to seeing you soon. Have a safe summer.
Yep, look forward to seeing you soon. Olivia, can you say bye? Bye.
Happy 50th anniversary, Uncle Ralph and Aunt Phyllis. Hope you have a great day.
Happy 50th, Aunt Phyllis, Uncle Ralph. It's Andy and Dina coming from sunny Fort Myers, Florida. We love you guys. 50 years. That's a great accomplishment. I hope Dina and I can get there someday.
Happy anniversary, Aunt Phyllis and Uncle Ralph. I remember how excited I was when you asked me to be in your wedding, and here we are 50 years later. How did that happen? We wish you the best anniversary ever. We love you both, and Jim and I always say how we always look at the two of you as a marriage that's just wonderful, a wonderful example of a great marriage. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary, Uncle Ralph and Aunt Phyllis.
Hello, favorite aunt and favorite uncle. Just wanted to wish you a happy 50th anniversary. Wish we could be spending it together, but hopefully someday soon. Enjoy.
Hi. Happy 50th wedding anniversary.
When this virus is over, we're going to have to get together and celebrate.
We miss you.
We miss you.
And we
love you.
Happy 50th wedding anniversary. Congratulations. We love you so much, and we cannot wait to celebrate with you.
You guys are a real inspiration, and we are so excited for your important anniversary, and we love you very much.
Each one of you, happy anniversary. We love you.
about the video, Alexandra?
I thought it was kind of boring because, like,
Why?
it's just talking about their marriage. Marriage is boring.
You're not at all interested in Grandma and Grandpa's story?
Yeah, because why would anybody look up YouTube videos of somebody talking about their marriage? That's weird.